Hey folks, welcome back here to my channel Whiskey Wismar. My name is Christopher, and here today on my table I have an undisclosed Highland Park, a secret Orkney, and bottled by the single malts of Scotland, Elixir Distillers. Sukhinder Singh, who owns the Whisky Exchange, founded in 1999, has a range of different brands, and Single Malts of Scotland is one of it. There are others, for instance, the Whiskey Trail or Elements of Islay, or even bespoke, legendary, prestigious, ultra-premium brands like Karisawa are bottled by Elixir Distillers. So those geisha bottles, they are from those they were bottled by Elixir Distillers as well. So there's something for everyone, and here in this case it's a more flavor-led, more honest presentation, and also price value wise more affordable presentation for a 13-year-old single malt, a vetting of 3 different sherry casks with 48% ABV. The label even tells you how much angel share there was distributed or divided between those 3 casks, 5.16%. And a guy named Oliver Chilton chose those 3 casks for vetting to be part of this batch of these vetted malts, or not vetted malts, but vettings for more flavor-led exploration of single malt regions. This is what the back label says. So less in your face, less presentation, less marketing, which is of course used to be and quite standard for Highland Park in recent years. All those Valhalla gods and goddesses and all their realms and the different elements with lots of plywood and big boxes was never really for me. They were from the get-go pretty expensive, and their flavor profiles didn't really strike me as something worth pursuing. This, however, at the price point of around 80 euros, was more interesting. So I jumped on the occasion when I could buy it in a German online shop. And let's see how this single malt fares. As I said, most likely 95% Highland Park, and in a very sherried outlook. So on the nose. Not a big surprise. So lots of dried fruit, raisins and rum, plums, figs, maybe some chocolate sauce, a little bit of bitterness, so spiciness, eucalyptus, thyme. So there's a little bit of oak incense here and on the nose, so maybe one of the 3 casks was European oak, but it's also seemingly sweet, so liquid caramel with some imagination. All in all, a very compact, mainstream nose. Not in a negative way. It's not, you don't have outliers when it comes to its aroma. So there's not something particularly unique about this where you say, wow, this is quite special. I've never had that before. It's a vetting. So of course you have a sort of normalization of different unique single cask properties. All in all, absolutely noseable. It's not, as I said, minor point of critique. It doesn't grip you right away as something very unique and special. But absolutely everything there that you would expect from a sherried whiskey. What is not here, however, is any sense of peat smoke. With some imagination in the background, some ground up sawdust, oak incense, but not really in any really overt form. On the palate. Takes 1 or 2 seconds to get there, but very dry salivation. It's drying only very little in the very back of your tongue, but overall rather sweet. Saliva inducing, so to swallow a lot when drinking this. Quite sweet without being desserty. So there is dryness and oakiness mixed or imparted through eucalyptus and menthol pretty early on, but also lots of notes you would expect from a Highland Park. So heather, honey, meadow aromas, wildflowers, and also lots and lots of dried fruit. But at 13 years of age, there is, of course, not much in a way that would tell you this is much older. So you have sometimes casks that can fool you, and they might only be single digit of age but appear much older. Here in a blind test, I probably would have guessed something in this age range. It's not young, no, not at all. No signs of really youthful whiskey, even though 13 is still a teenager. But for whiskey, this is a good age. And at 48% ABV, all the aromas are carried quite well. Even, once again, without being very unique in the case, in the sense that this is really an outstanding single cask or something quite extraordinary. It's a very tasty, flavor-focused dram that ticks all the boxes for those who just want more of a simpler, but yet not boring sherry cask experience, I would say. So at 80 euros, it's not really a beginner's dram, price-wise at least, but every beginner would probably not be overwhelmed by this. So, as I said, quite tasty. Lots of heather, honey, caramel, liquid caramel, Vertus originals, but dried figs and plums aplenty. The finish. Medium at most. A little bit of the tannic side prevails, so not really licorice or salted licorice even, salmiak. No, not at all. It's more sweetened espresso or black tea, I would say. Caramel and honey sort of leads into this, but overall a swifter finish. It's warming, however. Goes down quite well, and overall pretty quaffable. Something you could have 1 or 2 off at the same evening. So as I said, not overwhelming, very tasty, nice to nose, even though not overly complex. And yeah, quite nice. I like. Very approachable and offers a lot for the money, even though I think it's a little too expensive. But then again, if this is, and this probably is a Highland Park, then the 80 euros is probably warranted. Okay, what would I mark this? With what I said about its seeming lack of complexity, but while still being pretty mainstream sherry cask forward, I think an 88 out of 100 is pretty warranted. So it's a good whiskey. It's an excellent whiskey. It's not something unique and special, but it's not trying to be. Yeah, it's an undisclosed Orkney, 13 years of age, without much panache and presentation, but you get lots of whiskey for your money. Okay, this should be it. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and let me know if you've had sherried Highland Parks in any shape or form and what you think of them. Whether they are your cup of tea, or if you prefer bourbon-focused Highland Parks with some more peat in it. Let me know. Okay, have a great week and see you next time. Bye-bye.